Hello everyone, I'm back again with a new topic that is physiological parameters. In today's session, we are going to learn some physiological parameters, their normal values and significance. In this presentation, here are some points that we are going to cover in this presentation. So let's see the content of this presentation. Definition. We are going to see the definition of physiological parameter, which is nothing but physiological constants. These are physiological constants. Then the next point is hematological parameters, biological parameters and pathoclinical parameters. These are parameters which are generally normal physiological constants, and in certain situations these physiological constants gets changed, or there is deviation in this constant. So this deviation simply indicates abnormality in functioning of organ system. So to explain all these points, I am here, Mrs. Shagufta Zubair Pathan, lecturer at KCT's Krishna College of Pharmacy, Karad. Let's see one by one. First point is definition. Definition of physiological parameter. So physiological parameters can be defined as these are the gauges that are used to check normal physiological form of organ or organelle system. Means what? These are physiological constants which are generally constant at normal human body, and they are determined for the evaluation of health status or for diagnosis of disease. Then the next point is hematological parameters. Hematological means what? Related to blood. The first and most important is RBC, that is called as red blood cell count. So what are RBCs? RBCs are nothing but, RBC count is nothing but these are the number of RBCs found in a cubic per mm of whole blood. In male, the normal value is 5 millions per cubic mm, in female 4 to 4.5 millions per cubic mm, and in fetus 8 millions per cubic mm. See the significance of RBC. This RBC cell count gets increased in certain situations, and that situations like polycythemia, dehydration, excessive exercise, lack of oxygen, and these red blood cells are decreased in conditions like anemia, leukemia, old ages and snake poisoning. Next point is packed cell volume. It is also called as hematocrit and it is represented as HCT. So packed cell volume, it should be in the form of percentage by volume of packed RBCs in the whole sample after centrifugation. So the normal value is in male 0.40 to 0.52, in female 0.37 to 0.47. This packed cell volume gets increased in conditions like polycythemia, dehydration, and it gets decreased in conditions like anemia and hydration. Next point is mean corpuscular volume, that is called as MCV. So what is MCV? It is nothing but it is the ratio of HCT, that is called as hematocrit or packed cell volume, to the RBC count. So it can be represented by this formula like MCV is equal to HCT percentage into 10 divided by RBC count. So why we are going to calculate mean corpuscular volume, or why there is need to determine mean corpuscular volume is this mean corpuscular volume, it is useful to know the size of RBC. So the size of RBC is determined by MCV, and the normal count of this mean corpuscular volume in male and female 80 to 100 FL. FL means centimeter. Hemoglobin, that is called as HB. So what is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin, it is nothing but it is the amount of hemoglobin gram per deciliter of whole blood and gives idea of oxygen carrying capacity of blood. Hemoglobin represents the oxygen carrying capacity of blood. because hemoglobin, it reaches to every part of our body and it supplies the oxygen to every part of our body. That's why whenever there is decrease in amount of Hb, then that person suffer from anemia, or he is known as anemic patient. In male, this hemoglobin count, it should be within 14 to 16 gram percentage. In female, 12 to 15 gram percentage. In infants, 16 to 18 gram percentage. Hemoglobin increases in situations like polycythemia, dehydration, and decreases in conditions like anemia and leukemia. Then the next point is color index. Color index can be defined as relative amount of hemoglobin present in single RBC. Means in single RBC cell, what amount of hemoglobin is present, that is determined by color index. It has a formula Hb percentage divided by RBC percentage, and this solution, it gives the idea of color index. Normal color index is 0.85 to 1.15. If it is less than 0.85, then there is hypochromic anemia, and if it gets increased more than 1.15, then the situation is of hyperchromic anemia. ESR, that is called as erythrocyte sedimentation rate. Erythrocyte sedimentation rate, it is also very useful parameter to distinguish between the disease condition. Erythrocytes have a tendency to settle down because of their greater density than plasma and due to Roulex formation. It is a blood with anticoagulant is placed in a long vertical tube. The sedimentation of erythrocytes occurs, leaving a small clear plasma at the top. It is generally measured by two methods with normal value: Winthrop method, Westergren method. In male, by Winthrop method, the normal value is 3 to 5 mm per hour, and in female 4 to 7 mm per hour. Westergren method, the normal value in male is 0 to 9 mm per hour, and in female 2 to 20 mm per hour. Significance of erythrocyte sedimentation rate. Erythrocyte sedimentation rate increase in conditions like tuberculosis, leukemia, pneumonia, rheumatoid arthritis, malignant tumor, myocardial infarction, and it decreases in polycythemia, sickle cell anemia. Advantages of erythrocyte sedimentation rate. Erythrocyte sedimentation rate is very useful to follow the clinical course of a disease. Means what? The disease is at which condition that can be predicted by knowing erythrocyte sedimentation rate. To distinguish diseases which have almost the same signs and symptoms. Means if two diseases they have same signs and symptoms, then we can find out the difference in that disease by knowing the erythrocyte sedimentation rate. For example, angina pectoris and myocardial infarction, both of these diseases shows same kind of signs and symptoms. But in angina pectoris, there is no change in ESR, while in myocardial infarction, there is increase in an ESR. WBC or white blood cell, that is called as leukocytes. The WBC or total leukocytes that count states the number of WBC in per cubic mm of whole blood. Normal value in adult 4000 to 10,000 per cubic mm, in children 6000 to 11,000 per cubic mm, in infants 8,000 to 13,000 per cubic mm, in newborn 10,000 to 20,000 per cubic mm. WBC count increases, that is called as leukocytosis. So leukocytosis can be observed in infectious conditions, and WBC count decreases, it is termed as leukopenia, and leukopenia observed in conditions like viral infections, toxic effect of drugs. DLC count. DLC count means differential leukocytes count. It gives the distribution and morphology. In that there are two main types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes can be further classified as neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. And agranulocytes is classified as monocytes and lymphocytes. The normal range of different leukocytes is as shown below. Neutrophils 60 to 70% and absolute count is 2500 to 7000 per cubic mm. Eosinophils 0 to 4%, absolute count is 0 to 4000. Basophils 0 to 1%, absolute count is 0 to 100. Monocytes 4 to 8%, absolute count is 150 to 800. Lymphocytes 20 to 30%, absolute count is 1000 to 3000. Significance. There is a terminology called neutrophilia. Neutrophilia means increase in neutrophil count. Whenever there is ending with philia, then there is increase in that respective count. So neutrophilia, that means increase in neutrophil count, that can be observed in conditions like viral infections like chickenpox, herpes zoster, smallpox, and bacterial infections like urinary tract infection, pneumonia, whooping cough, septicemia, inflammatory diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, gout, acute rheumatic fever. Next terminology is neutropenia. Wherever there is penia is the ending, then it is called as a decrease in that count. Neutropenia means decrease in neutrophil count, and it can be observed in conditions like infections of typhoid, influenza, kala azar, tuberculosis, or gangrene, ulcer of mouth and throat. Basophilia, philia increase. Basophilia, increase in basophil count, can be observed in viral infections like mumps, chickenpox, hepatitis, and chronic infections. And in chronic infections, it gets increased like tuberculosis, syphilis, epistaxis, lymphocytosis, leukemia, etc. Eosinophilia means increase in lymphocyte count. It increases in allergic conditions like asthma, hay fever, eczema, skin diseases, jaundice and leprosy. Eosinopenia. Penia means decrease. Decrease in number of eosinophils. So it can be observed in acute infections, stress situations and Cushing syndrome. Monocytosis. Increase in count of monocytes. It may occur in tuberculosis, leukemia, typhoid fever, Hodgkin's disease. Lymphocytosis. Increase in lymphocytes. It can be observed in mumps, chickenpox, viral disease, viral hepatitis and tuberculosis. Next point is called as platelets. It is also called as thrombocytes. Thrombocytes are nothing but platelets. So these are nothing but fractional formed elements of blood and are involved in blood clotting after the vascular injury. So normal range is 1,50,000 to 3 lakh per cubic mm. If there is a decrease in production of this platelet count, then it is termed as thrombocytopenia, and generally it is observed due to bone marrow dysfunctioning. If there is an increase in production of platelet count, then it is called as thrombocytosis, and that is due to inflammatory disorders, blood disorders or malignancy cases. Next point is bleeding time. Bleeding time, it is the measurement of hemostatic efficiency of blood, and it can be determined as the time required ceasing the hemorrhages from puncture wound, and the normal value is 1 to 3 minutes. Significance of bleeding time is it is related with platelet functional disorder and the long course of anticoagulants or aspirin. These two factors changes the bleeding time. Clotting time. It is the time required to clot the blood outside the body, and the normal value is 4 to 10 minutes. Significance. Clotting time gets increased in hemophilia or in presence of circulating anticoagulants. Next is blood cholesterol. Normal value is 150 to 240 mg per deciliter or mg percentage. Significance. If the blood cholesterol level is between 300 to 400 mg percentage, then this indicates the coronary thrombosis. if it ranges